Do-do-do-do.
That's right, captions. 52 equals do-do-do-do-do. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed Wednesday, middle of the day, where you're totally totes 100% supposed to be working, but you're not. That's all right. We're not going to narc on you. We're good like that. Don't worry about it.
Yay! Happy Wednesday, everyone.
You ever had a coworker like that? You know, when you're trying to, you know, you're still working, you're doing your job, everything's fine, but you get the person, you're not doing your job right, and you're getting away with not working like that. I'm like, listen, my job's done. You don't need to tell anyone. We don't need to bring management into this.
Yeah, no, I had a few people try and get snippy with me because I was staring at Outlook, not actually doing anything. It's like, oh, I was waiting for one of your emails. What are you doing up here?
Come on, man. I thought just blindly being absorbed in the Outlook abyss is like intended behavior. Yeah, I can see forever.
Aw, hi, Arthurian. Hugs and love. And the same to Linux Ganaru, who gets to join us today because he's taking a day off work. Or several.
People tend not to get snippy with me. Oh, why not? No fun.
Oh, come on. I'm finally starting to get beard and more than just, you know, down here. It's finally growing here.
No, it's not. Your head's shrinking.
No, it looks nice on you, Pedro. I like you with the beard. Growing
the patches
more.
don't look nice. I'm well aware of that, but...
Listen, I'm sure Nori's got a Sharpie. We can...
She does. Several.
Yeah.
We can sort
Many
this
Sharpies.
out. And it can be regular or fabulous. Your choice.
I can also do the mustache twirl.
Mustache twirl. Oh, we need to get you some mustached wax and a penny farthing to ride to work on.
Oh, I've ridden one of those before. And it was hard because my legs are short. So I had to stand up on the pedals. I was a little kid, too.
Yeah, no, I don't like shaving my beard because then people notice just how big my nose actually is.
Yeah, man, facial hair. Easiest way to distract from a nose, I'm telling you.
It's the easiest way to get people to not pay attention to your face. It's like, oh, it's just beard. Okay.
I didn't cut myself as bad as I normally. Every now and then, I bought one of those newfangled things the kids use, the safety razor. And
how many blades?
Safety razor has a blade, Pedro.
Just the one. Oh, okay, all right. Just the single one.
Yeah, it's one of those new. I shave with a straight razor, by the way. I don't shave with any of this modern equipment. And always end up cutting myself, like, at least once. Like, I got away with it. And you look at yourself in the mirror and it's like, nope, there goes a little bit of the, body juice leaking out. I'm like, man, all right, fine.
Yeah, no, I have one of the Dollar Shave Club ones. And they have, like, 4 or 5 blades. It's something stupid like that.
The advantage to that is you can do that hungover and in a hurry. And you're not going to cut yourself.
Oh, you will cut yourself if you happen to have a pimple hiding beneath the hairs. It goes... That sounded a bit more,
and it made noise?
Are you sure that wasn't,
are you sure that wasn't, like, your brother? Avenge me!
It'd be hard to cut
Justin.
someone with one of those, like, willingly, in order to do damage.
My love, Steve husband. Oh, that's appropriate, Linux Ganaru, for men having to shave. So, Steven uses a straight razor, too.
2 spinning dots. All right.
Yeah, no, that's the best gif.
Oh,
yes. Shave the wells.
Isn't it fun? And like Discord occasionally will just be like, I'm not having that one. And
I was like, no, I don't like that URL. Bye.
I think I'll be right back before we get started.
And then it drops you in the poop emoji. So, it's a natural progression of things, Linux Nero. Come on.
So Pedro, did you I saw that you clicked on my new list.
I
in
did.
The show notes. What was that? I haven't added descriptions to anything, but you get the gist of it. I'm like, there's.
I wasn't looking at the descriptions. I was looking at, what's the new thing? Ah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's like, that makes sense.
It's the very first one.
That outside of Lynn's number 2 was just getting the guesswork out of it. Like, here, go here, use this. Don't buy it from me. Look how much the camera module is on Amazon. You want to have a fun time, kids.
Ooh. Okay. That's gotten a bit pricier.
No, it's not. Do you know how much I paid for mine? 50?
Yeah. A bit pricier.
Look at the second review on that.
Where are the reviews at? Yeah.
Isn't that thing supposed to be 50?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember when we talked about it on the show when they introduced it. It's like, okay, yeah, no, $50, that's pretty good.
The camera, high quality Pi camera module is 50. Then you buy a $50 lens. That is by an order of magnitude much higher than the whatever the Pi Zero W cost, like $10, $9 or something like that.
Yeah, the W is $10.
The price of the Pi Zero W was so insignificant compared to after I bought the module and the camera didn't register.
Yeah. Yeah.
First spent $100. Also, I'm going to go ahead and say this. No big spoilers, but the Wi-Fi's on the Pi Zero, that's rough. Throughput-wise, do you ever SSH'd over dial-up?
SSH'd over 10 megabit, but never over dial-up.
No, dial-up. Add dial-up. Like, you're grateful. Like, logs in. It's a mixture of the really poor Wi-Fi. I mean, it works, but also by... Oh, right, this thing's a single... This is effectively a souped-up Pi 1. Those things were...
Yeah.
Yeah, more fast.
Oh! Thank you, Matt, for the $10.
Yeah,
and
thanks,
thank
Matt.
you, Mir, for the 13 months.
Oh, no, you should have left Mir on. Come on.
He knows where I work, so that might be a problem.
I know where you work, too. I know where you live.
You do, yeah. And Jordan.
Well, I better start. Hello. Uncut audio only version that we totally just didn't start recording. No, sir.
It's only semi-cut this week.
There was a technical issue with the first 10 minutes, and that will remain true unless you go and watch the video version.
That's the official version. Oh, the chicken is amazing. That's what I'm having for dinner after this, mind you.
See, I was thinking about I Know Where Pedro Lives from like an hour before he went live. Like just randomly in the live chat. No message. Knows I schedule tweets. I didn't even get an reply.
Wait, oh, you had tweet. I didn't see you.
Yeah, of course you did, because I just happened to go, I was like, oh, Pedro's supposed to be live. Let me go see what's going on in the live chat. And Pedro's response to when he was going live, like, yeah, it's going to be an hour late, you guys.
Half an hour. As it turns out, doing a proper roast chicken takes some time.
Not if you put it in the microwave, it doesn't.
Yeah, no. I had, following the recipe, it said that it was going to be 30 minutes, so I started cooking at 7. It took almost an hour.
You need to try some, like, steak-wrapped microwave chicken. It's a culinary adventure.
It was actually wrapped in bacon?
Again, I'm going to outlive him, which just boggles my mind every time I think about it.
Some toothpicks over the bacon rashers, and then chicken, and then let the grease drip out of the bacon. And then with the basting.
No, I want to hear more about this timeline where you prevented. You told the grease, no, I'm not allowing you to drip it.
But I did. I was waiting for it to, so I could then baste it again with the grease.
More grease.
Yeah. That's how you get the crispy outside with the tender insides.
What, the microwave?
Yeah. The microwave does a very good job of cooking things, evenly. Which is why it's not good for meat.
Okay. I mean, there's an entire comedy routine based on Hot Pockets and microwaves and uneven heating, but all right.
Yeah, that's Hot Pockets. That's like those stupid...
well, you see... All right,
pizza
check this
slices.
out. Okay, what you got to do is put some Hot Pockets inside the chicken.
Ew.
I wouldn't be opposed to this. I still wouldn't make it in the microwave, but I wouldn't be opposed to this.
You got to make it in the microwave. Also, you can't tell anyone when they cut into it the first time.
Yeah, Arthur, and I'm using my TwitchCon cup again because I still had a lot of water left in it.
Stale water.
Well, you know what? It's actually, that's why I like using these, because they don't get it. The water stays fresh because it's got a lid on it, which is nice. With when I do use my mugs, I can't do that. I have to, dump them out, rinse them out, and refill them.
No. I am strongly opposed to this microwave culinary.
Come on, man.
No. For reheating stuff, sure. Put it in the dish, put the lid on it, toss it in the microwave, away you go. But for cooking, no. No.
How about no?
Potatoes actually turn out pretty. There's some things that turn out okay.
Mug
Potatoes.
Cakes. Mug cakes turn out okay in the microwave. That's it.
See, I don't know, man. All I'm hearing is don't try to. If you're gonna have some popcorn at Pedro's house, it's gonna be a minute.
Yes.
And it's gonna be delicious.
It's like, Pedro, can't we just microwave this popcorn in 3 minutes? It's like, nah, let's get the pan and oil out.
Why did I bother to source these individual kernels?
While Pedro's doing that, you just pop some in the microwave and get it done. You can have your popcorn ways making this.
I usually don't have popcorn. It's one of those things that doesn't really affect me one way or the other. But yeah,
I don't think against popcorn. I'll just eat it if it's there.
If it's there,
yeah. Like I am more than capable. What was the Star Wars? not the last Star Wars movie, but the Star Wars before last. They got like the upgraded, like turbo American size. It was like, oh,
American sized bucket.
Yeah, like the regular feeding trough was like $5. It's like, geez. She's like, the turbo feeding trough was like $7. Like, might as well. What's $2 on top of that? You know,
you already got your markup on the $5. So
right,
yeah.
Morgan is like sitting there with like my dual big gulp Diet Cokes. I'd nuke that thing halfway through the film.
Yeah.
Because you attack something like that at full speed, going, I'll never finish this, man. Let's like throw away leaf. It's like, oh man, I'm out. Thought about getting another one.
I love cheese popcorn and kettle corn, but only eat that once in a while. And caramel corn.
I like the butter popcorn, but unfortunately, most places tend to. They either add sugar or they add salt to the butter popcorn, and I don't.
Yeah, I like it natural too.
Just the butter. Just, yeah.
The only thing you put on popcorn is garlic salt. Done.
Yeah, that works. I've had garlic popcorn.
Don't do it, kids. If you never tried it. Don't blame me. All right. I think I'll grab a drink. Might grab a couple of drinks, and
okay.
We will get underway. I think everything is. You're behaving. Yes, you are. Good on you. All right. You have to talk to your electronic devices.
Yes.
To reassure them and to assert dominance. It's a two-edged sword.
Yeah, no. The only thing that my electronic devices hear is what the bleep. It's usually when something goes wrong. It's like, what now?
That's the only thought that goes through my head when Pedro sends me the game video on like a Friday afternoon. Like, whoa, that's something. Something is amiss at LGC when that conversation room goes off. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's still weird because I'm usually the one sending the video, so I don't hear the notification. So if I hear the Hangouts notifications, like, hey. Oh, Hangouts, right. Okay. It's okay, Linux Duro. We all have our weird things.
Yeah.
Any shells white cheddar is actually the next box I have to try. I don't know. Is that an American thing, Jill? Annie's cheddar's popcorn?
Yeah, it's a healthier option as compared to others, but they're pretty good. Annie's is pretty good.
It's one of those
like lower in calories and
Oh, okay.
And my favorite is still the
Marie
Callender's ones. Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
My favorites is of the frozen is the Marie Callender's mac and cheese. That is one of my favorites.
I mean, I don't mind mac and cheese, but
I usually try like mac and cheese and broccoli. Try and get something healthy with it, so I'm not just eating tubes of cheese.
Oh, come on! If you don't tell anyone and no one's looking, the calories don't count.
Yeah.
It's whenever I'm cooking and I'm taking a little bit of butter to prepare the skillet, and then there's a little bit of butter left on the knife.
Oh, that's cool, Darkwing. Yeah, actually, I've had tofu mac and cheese, and it's not bad. It's a little runny. It's like the cheese doesn't stick too well. The fake cheese doesn't stick too well to it, but it's still good.
Oh, instant soup. I get the like the mug ones. There's a Szechuan spicy Thai soup, which is very good. It's very good.
Yum.
What are you talking about, man? I don't trust soup.
I love Szechuan.
Those mug soups.
Yeah.
All right, so you're back. Let me just get another beer.
Okay.
Mug soups? Really? Is that like regular soup, but you're too lazy to put it in a bowl? Or do you hunger for soup so bad that you require a handle? You want to drink your soup?
Steve husband. The one I like with the brownie isn't mac and cheese. That's meatloaf. He's teasing me.
Nope. Yeah. When you're hungry and thirsty at the same time. Speed soup. That's what I call it, man. I know they're everywhere now. I just remember the first time that I saw you saw a canned soup. I'm sure it's on different types of cans now, but it has the pop lid. I always called that like sports soup. You're like, I gotta run.
Oh, that looks good, Darkwing. Yeah, no, that would be good, actually.
Penne.
I forgot what bread tastes like.
Coming to a toilet near you.
All right. Let's do it. I want that about there, so let's not unmute that. Let's mute that on this end, so we're not scrambling and looking for the... There we go. I don't know, man. Sourdough bread, it's kind of shifty. Can't really trust it.
I love it.
Sourdough's good.
We'll just fill it with vegetables.
Or cheese.
What's the point of the sourdough then? Then you're just like, I just want my melted cheese edible transportation
device.
Yeah.
It's a way that I can eat the cheese without getting my hands dirty.
You're like, listen, I wouldn't even eat it if you gave me more cheese to dip it back in. Let's get that recording. That recording. All right. There we go. And oh, hang on, I got to change the number, kids.
Oh, yes.
As you were, talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Matthew, I'm eating banana bread I made the other day. Yummy. Ooh, I'm sure that's good. Matthew made it.
Nori's threatened to make banana bread a couple of times. Still hasn't materialized.
Yes. That's one of my favorites, actually.
Is that what Nori does when she's upset when you threaten to cook?
That's the thing. She bakes far better than I ever can. So, yeah, no, as far as baking goes, I leave that to her because it's delicious. But yeah, no, for just day-to-day stuff, I cook.
I just start baking stuff, man. Get on there. Do it wrong, too. Do it in the microwave. Bake some stuff in the microwave. I'm a joy to be around, kids, in case you're wondering. All right. Take 244. And welcome back to Linux Weekly, daily Wednesdays, where we can sit back, relax, take that midweek break, talk about some of the fun things we found going on in the world of Linux. I'm Vin Stone, joined every week by Jill Bryant and one Pedro Mateus, and everyone's sitting at home. Maybe you're standing at home, standing desk sort of thing now. I'd like one, but that's a lot of standing. Watch this live on Wednesdays. It's definitely a thing. What's going on, everyone? It's been a fun, exciting week. A lot of stuff going on. I've been playing around. If you follow me on the Twitters, yes, that's the social media that starts with a T. I have been hacking away on a Pi Zero W because I think I talked about it last week. I definitely talked about it Saturday. I was looking around the internet and I'm like, yo, I want to build like a little webcam and see what the comparison is between like the high quality 12 megapixel camera, which is across the room from me right now, next to my Nikon D3400. I've got that together. It's working. I'm compiling a guide because the guides are just long, drawn out, and a lot of them are in like Mac or Windows that I don't get. Genuinely legitimate issue. It's not anything other than I don't know these I don't have access to these programs. We could do this all with Linux. And I want to get you in and out in 5 minutes because that's how long it really takes to set up a Raspberry Pi webcam. And I got my last little parts. Amazon delivery driver so lovingly launched this at my door from my front lawn, which good arm on him. I commented on that because he was still making his way back to his device. So Patreons, check that out later this week. I'll probably have that up maybe Friday preview version of that. It will be fascinating. Jill, what's new with you?
Oh boy, I'm working on 2 Ryzen builds. The first one, a mid-range mini ITX build, probably with a 2600X. I may go up from there, but haven't decided yet. And I'm actually waiting on the AMD GPU Big Navi announcement coming October 28th to decide what GPU I want to buy, AMD or NVIDIA. And of course, the new Ryzen CPUs come out in November. So that's when I'm gonna build a big machine after that.
Yeah,
hear
it's
all the
a terrible
specs.
time to be putting PCs together.
Yeah.
No. What you have to do is you have to wait for the AMD announcement. Like, okay, now I got to wait on the Intel.
Yeah.
Or the Power VR, as Arthur mentioned earlier in Discord.
I saw
Apparently
Carl
Power VR
tweet that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, Power VR's been a thing. They've been rocking and rolling with that for a long time. On ARM, seeing that roll out, I was like, oh, okay. Well, set the clock. Clock to what, Ved? Till NVIDIA acquires a new company.
They need that extra compute.
No, Jensen's like, yeah, just add one of those to the collection. Why not? Why not? It's, we got ARM matching set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Or RISC-V.
What's new, Pedro?
Yeah, over here, I got a thing in the mail today, which I ordered like 2 weeks ago. So, the slow boat from China is not as slow. It's just one of those, it's 10 of these teeny tiny little soldering learning kits. It comes with a couple of transistors, a couple of 4 resistors, 2 capacitors, 2 LEDs, and the little power supply input. So, yeah, no, the base PCB, of course. So I'm just gonna, I already got started on mounting everything, and then I looked at the clock. It's like, oh, yeah, no, it's Wednesday today. Here I am.
At least you didn't bake a chicken. Hey, man, I want you to live stream some of that. You don't have to do it for everyone. I just want to watch.
Could probably do it from the phone, yeah. Because I can't do it here. I have to do it in the kitchen on accounts of window. Yeah. So yeah.
100% down with that. Learn to solder, kids. You'll save yourself a lot of money or cost yourself lots. Ultimately, years later, they'll cancel each other out. You'll basically be where you started.
Karma balances it out eventually.
I'm just saying, sometimes, if it's still working, you just haven't repaired it enough.
I can improve it.
Speaking of improvements, Linux 5.9 has been released.
Our favorite master of penguins, Linus Torvalds, has released Linux kernel 5.9 with lots of great enhancements. It will have support for the latest AMD GPUs being announced October 28th. Yay, Big Navi, the RDNA RX 6000 series. So
initial support.
Support, yes.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a lot like the 5000 CPU GPU launch.
Yeah,
give it a couple
while.
months. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's also support for the Intel Rocket Lake graphics card. And there'll be performance improvements for our loved IBM ThinkPads. That's always a good thing, especially now that Lenovo is selling their ThinkPads with Ubuntu. And initial support for the IBM Power 10 processors. I thought that was really cool. Awesome. We love Power 10. And there's just lots of... this was a huge release, actually. There's better management of anonymous memory, a new slab memory controller, lower overall kernel memory usage. It's just it's huge. Yeah, go and read the notes to see all the changes made. It's amazing.
One of the things I saw here, this is going to be the first release that supports the LG Ultra 5K monitor at a native 5K resolution. That thing takes 2 display ports.
That's awesome.
Yeah, okay, right.
And you're thinking about that, and you're like, oh, okay, that sounds kind of neat. Maybe I want to play with that. Also requires Wayland. So I'm like, nope, got to wait just 10 more years, and we'll be able to play around with it.
Yeah, the thing I know that popped out to me were all of the attempts to bring back the performance that was taken away from the mitigations from the speculative execution exploits that were discovered. Last year, last year, and the year before that. So, yeah, it's good to see that at least they now have a different way to try and squeeze out that extra performance out of your CPUs. And it's not just for Intel CPUs, it's also for AMD ones because, well, they have a matter of hyper-threading now too. They call it simultaneous multi-threading. But yeah, no, that's good to see.
Or you get to equals off. My peeps know what I'm talking about. Kdenlive Live 20.08.2 is out. It's thing. You can put it all over your PC. I made our credits with it today because why not? I wanted to try it out. There's a bunch of new stuff in this, man. This is going to bring a couple things people have been waiting on. But this has got the automatic scene split feature. That's neat. Experimental GPU rendering. Okay, well, don't get too excited because it's just for proxy, but it's got a new crop effect. Besides the usual like round of usability improvements and bug fixes, it's just a nice, solid little release. And those GPU profiles for rendering proxies, that's for your timeline preview. If you got something you need to render down that you can't normally like cut through back and forwards, that will take care of it. No. The reason you have to create proxy clips is if you're using a nonlinear video editor that doesn't take advantage of compute, where you can normally just scrub through regular timelines. Also, I'll give everyone a little bit of advice. I see this every now and then. Someone's like, okay, I see this with DaVinci Resolve. Good. You can't out of the box. You got to give them money, man. You got to make it rain a little bit in order to get MPEG Layer 4, MP4, H.264 support under Linux, because it's a licensing thing. They're not trying to nickel and dime you. But you don't want to edit in that anyway. Just don't, throw it out to like ProRes or DNX HD. That's going to make your life infinitely easier. But you have some thoughts on this, Jill?
Yeah. Well, I was actually really looking forward to the GPU profiles for timeline preview rendering as well, because I often use lots of effects in the timeline, and it gets really clunky and slow, even on really high-end systems. So I'm really looking forward to putting that to its paces, and it will improve Kdenlive so much once they get full GPU acceleration across the whole the pipeline. Definitely.
10 more years, Jill. Just
yeah. They are accelerating actually really quickly, so I've been impressed.
That needle hasn't budged, man. Not with GPU acceleration.
Yeah.
Has Kdenlive even been around for 10 years?
Close.
Yeah.
I don't think it has been 10 years. Close, sure.
It's a great project. We use it to make the credits. And it's great if you want to jump in, do some things. But TV has focused on something that I think a lot of people should focus on. A lot of projects should focus on. And it's not these features. It's not all this extra whiz bang stuff. No, Jill. They're focused on stability.
Yes, stability, stability, stability. And yeah, this is the new release of PityV 2020.09. It's an entry-level video editor that a lot of us have used under Linux. And don't count it out as a really good editor. It has really come a long way. I've been very impressed with PityV's updates and features over the last few years. And its stability. It really works well, and it's really fast. And I installed the PityV Flatpak and really had fun testing it out. This version has everything you need to create a quick video, whether it be editing, creating transitions, creating title clips, creating color clips, which was just added in this version, and adding effects. And one of the things I was really impressed about with this version of PityV and the previous newer ones is that the ability to adjust the volume in the timeline quickly by just clicking on the track and using keyframes with what we call the rubber band in the industry to adjust your volume up and down easily, like the other more professional video editors have, like DaVinci Resolve and Adobe Premiere. So the fact that they added something like that's not usually included in entry-level video editors, I was really impressed with. And I've recommended PityV to people coming over from Windows and Mac who just need a quick and easy video editor on Linux because it is so easy to use, but yet it has some very professional features. And it's just really awesome. I was really impressed with this release. Yay.
Pretty decent. Yeah, a couple things with this. Like I said, they're making a big point. They're laser focused on stability. And that's something everybody should pay attention to because one of the reasons, I'd used OpenShot for a long time because I initially started doing videos for Linux Gamecast Weekly for like 10 years ago with KDN Live. So yeah, I guess KDN Live's been around right about a decade. So right there about. And KDN Live bit me hard, man. Like I had giant things stacked up and it just lost. It also started using OpenShot. Then what about KDN Live? Stability is a very, very important thing that all nonlinear video editors, you run into. It's a real issue. But a couple of things, that plugin system is going to be very, very welcome. Easy Ken Burns effect. Pedro, I knew you were personally excited about that. So
I have no idea what that is.
I know that's where I'm going. I want to know, what do you think the Ken Burns effect is?
Okay, first of all, not American. I know my accent might indicate that I am.
Universally known thing in any video editor. It's known as the Ken Burns effect for video. It's not an American thing. So.
I was going to say, I'm not familiar with the pop culture, much less when it comes to video editors, because I have used those total of 10 times, I guess.
The origins of this starts with documentaries.
Public Broadcasting Network, actually. Yeah. And a lot of the World War II and World War I documentaries from PBS back in the 90s. Yeah, became a thing. And the effect is where you slowly zoom in to a corner of a picture. It's like a slideshow with a bunch of pictures you put in sequence together, and the camera moves around the picture and zooms in on it, and then it fades to the next one and moves around and zooms in on it.
Paige, you're familiar with the effect. You just didn't know we named it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you've seen it everywhere.
I've seen that effect several times in just about every documentary I've ever watched.
So what else do we have? Nested timelines, color clips, and keyboard shortcuts aimed at pros. So you're going to see something like, if you've ever opened up DaVinci Resolve, one of the first things it hits your eyeballs with is like, hey, man, do you want to use like, what is it? Adobe shortcuts.
Premiere.
Yeah, Premiere. If you're accustomed to that, we can help you out. Or do you just want to like, nope, I don't know those. So that's good. That's going to be in there. And the next milestone, hitting hard, back on the bug fixes. and some code
Nice.
cleanup. I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, behind over at the blog.pativi.org, what do you have against pictures? Like,
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
I know. There was just one.
You get the one screenshot.
Yeah.
We're just doing the show, and I'm like, okay, let's just go to the front page. Okay, let's about nothing. I was over here scrambling while Joe was talking. I'm like, well, no screenshots for this one. YouTube backup. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so this is a project by Alex York. You can find it on GitHub, and it is just YouTube backup. And I started reading through it. Admittedly, I started skipping through the wall of text a little bit, and it's like, goals. Okay, Occam's
How
razor
dare you?
thinking
Did you see the point where it's brutally simple?
Yeah, I saw that, and then
Okay.
I saw a bunch of more text, but then I saw the big goals thing. It's like,
All right.
okay, Occam's razor thinking is strongly preferred for this project. Okay, no, the Occam's razor, the simplest solution is often the correct one. Cool, I'm with you. Brutally simplifying the code at the expense of features. Okay, do one thing and do it well. I'm a Linux user. That's the Unix philosophy right there. So again, still with you. So I then go back and actually start reading the how to use. It's like, edit the .env file with your S3 API or S3 API information. It's like, what?
Pedro, I can't hear you from inside my Docker container.
After, the next paragraph, it starts, after editing the file, just run docker compose up YouTube channel downloader.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone see my interest? Because I think I just lost it.
Pedro, why do you hate progress?
Aww.
No, seriously.
Well, I like that there's actually no code in the files in the program to delete files. So you can't delete files accidentally, which is really awesome. And I thought this was a great use of YouTube/DL, one of our favorite YouTube downloaders.
Stealing my content. That it's totally released under Creative Commons share.
And yeah, you could use this method also to back up from Twitch. And I think it's brilliant. It's really well done. Nice script that runs, and
It's the thing, man. A couple of things you got to look out for outside of, like, I mean, if you're a kid, all right, fine, you get Docker set up on your personal computer at home because that's how everybody's doing the things these days. That's fine, whatever. I'm not going to judge. You can only download public videos, and when you download anything from a channel, you're getting it all. You don't get to pick and choose. So keep that in mind. No half backups, man. You can't do individual backups of like playlist or like channels. Like, you're getting it all if you're doing that. Just 100%. Age-gated videos. They hunger for cookies. So they have to be set. I mean, you have to set your cookies in there so it knows that, hey, look, I said I'm over the age. I don't know what the age is, like 18 or 13 or whatever, on YouTube. So that's the thing. It's there, and put that in your Docker and run it.
Yeah, no, I think that simplicity got a bit lost there.
You know,
A little bit.
once you get it set up, Pedro, see, I'm doing that.
Yes,
thing.
after I've taken the 2 hours to get it set up and learned the syntax. Yeah, no, I'm
Shut up,
sure
Pedro.
it's fine.
Listen, I'm over here blindly running stuff in a sandbox, hopefully. There's a new version of the GIMP out.
yay! GIMP 2.10.22 has been released. One of our favorite graphics editors on Linux and Windows and Mac as well. So it's definitely a bug fix release with lots of maintenance changes to the core
Lord,
code.
Lua scripting. I hate that because I have to deal with that with Ardour.
Oh, that's our favorite character from GIMP, Wilbur. He's our little mascot. So, so a lot of maintenance changes to the core code and overall infrastructure of GIMP. But one of the most important improvements is that of better image file format support. And yes, as you were seeing there is support for the I just lost it. AVIF file format, which is actually really cool because it is a future contender for a web image format that is open and royalty free. So that might be our next PNG on the internet. And there are improvements to all the file formats, BMP, DDS, JPEG, WebP, XPM, and improved multi-layer support for TIFF exporting, which is really good because that's the TIFF we often use for printing in graphics. And since many of us use GIMP for converting image file formats, these are very important updates.
It'd be nice if I could export some WebP or JPEG 2000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even open it without it throwing an error box to start with.
You know what? I don't even think about it. I just change it to JPEG. And I'm like, you know what? You can figure it out, man. That's good news. Always good to see new updates on the GIMP. But backup's a very serious thing. It's something that usually by the third time that you've completely hosed yourself, you finally make good on that promise to implement at least some type of partial solution. And it seems
some kind of backup solution.
Yeah, something that might stand a chance of backing up something, possibly. Daniel wants to share his mojo with the Ubuntus.
Yes. See, Ven was saying that backups are a very good thing to do, and the chances are you've probably done goofed yourself at some point.
You probably lied to yourself on several occasions saying, I'm going to implement a backup strategy.
But to some people, backups are sort of a religion. Take Daniel Rosehill, where he has not just the three usual solutions, like you have the copy on the same system, the copy on an external drive, and the copy in the cloud. He also has an AWS copy on top of that, just because. But yeah, no, it is actually his backup strategy.
But Pedro, we're confused and angered by AWS, even though I have to constantly interact with it on a daily basis.
Strider was actively mocking me earlier on Discord because I didn't know or I didn't have any S3 credentials. Like, I don't need them. I'm trying to use my desktop computer.
Whatever, scrub.
This one is, basically he just guides you through setting up, if you'd like to do it like him, where he actually has a schedule and he has.
Wait a minute. How can you tell what it's inside that case?
That's, you open the case, you plug it in, you do the backup, and you plug it out.
If you're going to tell me it's a hot spare, I can't even see it through that. I can't tell. I have no idea what it
HDD 1 TB Ubuntu.
No, you have to get that t-shirt a little bit wet. Don't do
it. That's right. Pedro Mateus, hard drives, they be thirsty.
Yes, they are. Thirsty on main, as it were. But no, it is basically the way he does it. It's easy. He uses Clonezilla for the on-site monthly backups. He uses Timeshift for the daily backups, which Timeshift is included with a lot of Linux distros out of the box now. And on-site monthly, he also uses Clonezilla for an external hard drive, and yearly for the AWS backup. It's I agree with having those many copies, especially if you are working in something that you kind of need.
Pedro, how much is this going to cost me?
Nothing. Well, AWS might cost you something.
Pedro, how much is this going to cost me?
Or the hard drives, if you don't happen to have a bunch of them lying around, which I can't reach the drawer right now.
Hang on. I think I'm getting through to them, everyone. Pedro, as a non-hoarder, how much is this going to cost me?
Well, if you want to buy the 3 1 terabyte hard drives, you'll be dropping around $220. For the external SSD to make those copies a bit faster, that's another $75 on top of that. And for the enclosure that allows you to plug in and carry it around, he spent $50 on his, but that's pricey. And the USB drive, which is, you just go to the dollar store and find one, although probably worth spending the $5 like he suggests.
Well, I thought this was a really great article, Daniel Rosehill. Lots of great suggestions. And I like your workflow because I am as OCD as you are. I too keep at least 3 backups of everything and instill this in my animation students with their projects. Because in the animation pipeline, there have been many times when we've lost our first copy and the original copy and had to go to the third. So I hear you there. And I actually use Deja Dupe instead of Time Shift, but I like Time Shift too. I've been using Deja Dupe for years. And instead of Clonezilla, which is really a nice GUI option, I use the old school part image on my workstations. Been doing that for years. And thank you also for the Cloudberry backup for Linux suggestion. That is really cool. I had never heard of that cloud backup app. So I'm going to definitely play with that. And there's a free version of it. So very good.
I think that's all nice. It's kind of brilliant. I will say I started reading this article and he's like, well, I'm celebrating my uptime birthday.
I guess that's a good way to ensure that you get those backups regularly.
You made that up. It's not a thing, and we're not going to let it be a thing, okay? I'm just saying. But the whole premise behind this was effectively, which is something I genuinely just took issue with a little bit, hear me out, is I'm stating that, well, setting up Linux is really very difficult and time-consuming compared to what? I say that. Like, I nuked and paved Jackbox, our DAW, which has a laundry list of custom tweaks that has to be done for it, for the real-time audio and all the fiber noodle stuff going on. Timed it because I'm that type of person. It's 37 minutes. Desktop Ubuntu, USB drive to working system. What, Pedro? 15? If you're slow, if you're HDD.
If you're on a hard drive, yeah, it'll take you about 15-20 minutes.
That's all I'm saying.
Depending on if you chose to install the updates or not. Don't.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying don't scare people with, whoa, Linux is super wicked quick and super wicked and just easy to set up. Anybody can set it up. You plug it in. It's less, especially with Canonical, Ubuntu, something like that. That's less involved than Windows, man. That's give me a username, give me a password. All right, gotcha. Go chill out. Don't really get comfortable though. Come right back and I'll be done.
It won't take that long. Yeah.
But once you get Linux up and working and everything. Oh, personally, for my backup stuff, it's, I do want to say my little pro tip, learn to use rsync. Do it.
Yes.
It's something I had to do. I didn't have to at one, but I'm glad I did. It's not oh, this is fun. It's not fun. It's not terribly interesting, but you can do some interesting and powerful stuff with it, especially over the network, especially when you tie in a little thing I like to call lazy man's networking, SSHFS. So yeah, you can automate all types of fun stuff with that. And that's the thing. But once you get that box up and working, Pedro, and you think, man, you know what? I'm looking at this GNOME monitor. I think too many people run GNOME monitor. It's a bit mainstream for my taste.
To be
what
fair,
am I
more
to do?
people run the Windows Test Manager. But yeah, no, this is what Sysmon is very much trying to emulate. It's the Windows Test Manager. If you've had the unfortunate occasion to have to run Windows for work at some point, you probably are very aware of the Windows Task Manager. And there are a lot of features that, especially the Windows 10 version of Windows Task Manager, it does have a lot of pretty graphics and little progress bars and the way that it lays everything out. It's very appealing to a lot of people. I get that. And if you are trying to, appease a newcomer to Linux, it's probably not a terrible idea to have Sysmon.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
You just lost me, just with those magic words. All right, as you said,
you know what? I'll use pip over Docker any day.
you know what? Yes. Okay, fair point.
I like Pip. Pip is nice.
No, pip is it's sane enough that you can figure it out, and it's sane enough that if you decide to nuke, it'll also get rid of any unused dependencies. Thank you. The Sysmon, what it tries to do is, just emulate the Windows Task Manager experience. However, if you are targeting the Windows people for, you know, that kind of look and that kind of functionality, what's the likelihood of them actually hearing about a third-party system manager, task manager type of situation that doesn't come pre-baked into the distro that they chose?
It's people love to be familiar with stuff. That is the biggest question of, like, where do I go to download all of my apps that look the same and work the same?
Oh, so you're relying on blog posts. The blog post that says, make your Linux desktop look exactly like Windows XP.
Yes.
I followed those.
You were there, child.
Yes. Well, I like that in the future versions, it's going to there'll be support for Intel and AMD GPUs. So that's very good. Right now, there's only NVIDIA. And on this box that I'm running an RX 580, you know, of course, that
I just saw the picture that Steve posted in Discord, and I was like, what's wrong with that cockatoo?
Oh, Pippi Longstocking.
Pippi Longstocking.
Pip. Pip install. Pippi Longstocking. Those are some of my favorite movies. I am Pippi Longstocking. Okay. So,
we lost
so anyways, there's also going to be a dark mode in that's planned for future releases, which I'm happy about because all that white hurts my eyes.
If you have a dark mode or you have a dark theme set, it actually does a very good job of inheriting that.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
listen,
it does, but I wasn't using it on.
You got a dark theme set? Hey, I'm Thunderbird. Come on. I'm
I also have
Imperious.
a custom dark theme set for Thunderbird, okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was using it under Flexbox.
That's the thing. It's kind of brilliant. That's good to see. I mean, Activity Monitor, admittedly, I will straight up crack. There's nothing wrong with like HTOP. Yeah, I talk about that a lot. But if I just need to like nuke something, especially like a group of somethings, GNOME System Manager. I mean, it's there. I'm like, boop. Even though it likes to always open this monitor way over here because that's how it rolls. We've just agreed to disagree in that point of our relationship. But yeah, I'm like, all right, right click, kill, done. Hey, look, that's dead. And I'll leave it open if I'm troubleshooting. Usually something Proton related.
Yeah. That's good to not just leave GNOME System Monitor or KSys1 or whatever one you prefer.
Yeah.
But also be SSH did to the box that you're testing on, because the moment it freezes, it's like, kill everything, go.
Right. So we got to talk about, the internet was, they tried to get, not even a panic, they tried to get big humbug about it. They, oh no, Microsoft is going to be running Linux and all that. No. But we need to talk about it. The Microsoft loves Linux because Hayden has walked in to be like, yo, man, seriously? Did we have to really do that, internet? So, yeah. As I'm sure everyone knew, but hey, man, it's fun to talk about, theorize, spitball, is Microsoft is going to rebase on Windows, rebase Windows on Linux. No, it's not. I mean, Microsoft's turning into a services company. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that. Did you see anything in here other than, like, WSL does not by default do upgrades and all that fun stuff? Yeah, it's effective clickbait. That's all that was, right?
Yep. And it is like the whole blog post, except for some of the...
This I wanted to bring up, though, because I know we talked about this on
Kernel.
Saturdays was... I know. We talk about backwards compatibility. That is something, if you're going to be perfectly fair, Windows wrecks Linux on. Like,
then again, Wine wrecks Windows.
Although I can't install Windows. I can't install Windows on my old computers, a new version. I have to use Linux.
That's because you use an old junky computers.
But, to be fair, Hayden's little post here is like reasonable all the way through, though I did think he picked some flawed supporting articles that he linked
whatever. You're acting like somebody could be wrong on the internet.
He's not wrong. That's the whole thing. His post is right. It's like the most sensible post about this whole thing that I've seen. And yeah, no, it's just the some of the backup articles that he picked to link, like, the PC marketing is now back up, and it's all thanks to Microsoft's efforts. I think there's a certain global pandemic that has more to say about that than Microsoft ever did, or Windows for that matter.
Mere coincidence.
Yeah, and you know, outside of that, he does have a point. He's like, he even brings up the Surface Neo, because yeah, no, that's Windows is gonna Windows for as long as Microsoft doesn't find an effective way to just offer Windows as a service on top of an ARM Surface. So yeah, it's and his other argument was basically this will all boil down to KVM versus HyperX. That was never really a fight. Come on.
No, I mean, it's the thing. His argument is like, we're just all going to be booting into a hypervisor and running whatever.
Yeah. It's just whether people would standardize on HyperX or KVM. It's like that fight, it never even existed. As much as Microsoft would like to have people believe that it did, it didn't.
Yeah, it's Microsoft. Come on. Can you imagine being at Redmond right now? Being the guy who was in charge of Windows RT? Like, oh, we're going to ARM now?
Yeah, repeatedly, from the look of things. After killing the project and abandoning the Surface RT, it's like, oh, there's another service running on an
What do
ARM.
RTs go for on eBay these days? I wouldn't mind. I want to make a skateboard.
I think last I checked
Really
about
tiny
$100.
That might be something to play with. Cool. We thought we'd give that a mention. Everyone can just chill out. I don't think anyone was like, it's always just like a fun thought experiment though. Like,
yeah, it is.
We've been having that conversation since the 90s. I distinctly remember, like, even in university, I think even in secondary school, we were like, oh, when's Microsoft just going to release its own like desktop manager? Like, I don't know.
I mean, they're making Linux desktop managers work in Windows. So.
How many more days of Arctic Timber do we have left? Because Edge is supposed to drop out of a sky like a low-yield thermonuclear warhead.
Yes.
Meteor 2020.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that sets everything off.
Well, you know, Hayden, he brought this up too about, you know, the Microsoft won't give up DirectX and their Windows PC gaming franchise right now. It's kind of exploding. So, and their loved Xbox. So that's definitely a thing.
So, check it out. If you like what we do, you want to kick us some shekels, that's kind of brilliant. Best way to do that, head over to patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. We got a bunch of membership levels. We got a gang of beautiful, pretty patrons helping us each and every week. All of you lovely people, come check out the end. Your name's going to be in the credits, man. We got Cherling's Death Note, Sea Monsters, and 6 more levels. They're terrifying. Chicago. Can't say the rest of that. Go look for yourself. Executive producers and advisors helping us do this, man. We get an interesting business model where we just give everything away, and if you like it, and like, you know, all right, hey, that's kind of brilliant, and we get to do a bunch of extra things. Now, we do have merch.
Yay!
If you want to buy some,
store.linuxgamecast.com.
That does work. And if you want to like scare friends and family for October, buy them some LGC merch. Now, admittedly, it might confuse them more than scare them, but hey, man, take a win where you can get it.
Buy the pink Frank shirt.
Yeah.
Hell Elks in pink.
Spoilers. Jordan and I are working on some custom gear, but we're going to have to test them on ourselves first.
Yeah.
Looking. And a couple other things we do have. If you're ever curious about anything that is effectively in this room, it has been stuck together, itemized. And I don't say buy it off Amazon. I don't, especially this latest stuff I've thrown up. But we have, what do they even call it? I think it's like an influencers list. It's Amazon.com/shop/Linux
Amazon
Gamecast.
storefront.
And it's, to finish that thought, if you just go to like our web zone, go to the About section, but it's definitely everything we have. Like, I want to take some of the guesswork. It's like, hey man, maybe you want to build one of these pie camera things. That's what you need to buy. Just you don't want to buy that camera module on Amazon because they want $93 for it. And that's a $50 part. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. But that applies to like all the computers and stuff that's stuck together, networking stuff, office supply stuff, man. I've tried to be very good just in case I ever have to come back to like the insurance. It'll be real easy to itemize everything. Huh?
Yeah. It's like, you see this here? I have one of each.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, save them time. I just send it the link and I'm like one of those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, all that's new because I tend to buy used stuff. It makes me cost still. If you want to end up on our fine upstanding cannibal wall and be one of these beautiful people, you can head over to our Wish Zone, which again, it's more Amazon stuff. We don't use it as what we're supposed to. Maybe you just want to head over and take a look at some of the stuff I'm planning on buying for the studio. Up to and including this. Pedro, what are your thoughts on that? I don't know if I trust these.
It's a 1700X or a regular 1700, so that's probably fine. I wouldn't recommend a 120 AIO for anything.
Why not?
240 minimum?
240.
Because the thermal density of the amount of liquid that you can have in a 120 is not enough, usually. But if it's just a 1700 and it's idle most of the time, it's probably fine.
Yeah. It's, well, it's a 65 watt TDP, man, so.
Yeah.
It just gets loud at like on hour 3 on Saturdays. Then again, it's got a Hyper 212 on it, but I mean, what doesn't? I mean, that's the hey, go check out Jill and Pedro. They got like legitimate. Pedro and Jill both have legitimate wish list with like stuff and knickknacks and toys and stuff that they want, and they'll read. They'll be good people. They'll pull out like a little card that you can send them. And they'll be like, oh, thank you. And they'll read whatever you say. Anything. I make them. That's kind of brilliant.
Yes.
Literally anything that won't land me in jail. So have that.
Yeah.
It's got to be family friendly for the
worry,
show,
you can
though.
edit it and post and make it.
Yes,
like
that's true.
The power of editing.
It's kind of fun. All right. We need to get into a slice of pie.
Oh, you found the Sauron pie. Graven.
Well, I had to, since we're going to be talking about the pie of Sauron.
Yes.
Pedro, you looked into this, so you take it.
I did, and it's basically like the Raspberry Pi blog does every year. They like to pick out a theme for the month and then show like all the projects that people did.
I love this time of the month, though, man. Is I buy house decorations. Have no illusions, kid. There are sections of my house that look exactly like you think it would.
Yeah, and of course it's October, so there's a lot of Halloween stuff going on. But
wait, what is that? Is that a TIE fighter?
No, that is the Eye of Sauron.
Pi of Sauron.
The Eye of Pyron.
Isn't that cool?
But yeah, I actually had a look. I had to look at that because I saw that picture. It's like, so there's exposed copper wires and they're all lit up.
Is there a video?
Yeah, there is a video.
Yeah.
But it's buried somewhere.
That's the one there. Yeah, no, it's like, are those lit up by just running enough electricity through it to make them incandescent? But no. As it turns out, there's teeny tiny little LEDs strung along the copper wires that make that effect. And dude actually adapted a project that someone else had done to project the eye movement to 2 different lenses, and he projected a single one, and of course he did the Eye of Sauron. So that looks amazing. If you go look at the video, if you're not watching the video version, find the show notes, go click on the link, click on the video. It's really well done. Very good job.
Jill, did you have
beautifully done. Yeah, I love the black jack-o'-lantern. It was a 3D printed big jack-o'-lantern, and it's got these creepy eyes that move around that are on a big Raspberry Pi screen, and they made a slot for the Raspberry Pi in that slides right into the center of the jack-o'-lantern, so that it's stable, and it's really creepy. I love it.
Is it creepy, Jill, or does it look like kitty cat?
Oh, it does kind of. They are kind of kitty cat eyes, but a little more evil, I think.
I mean, it's kitty cat, so it's evil. They're conduits to the underworld.
I I love kitties. Actually, the eyes are similar to my kitty cat Frodo. My black kitty has greenish yellow eyes.
Inside of a pumpkin?
No, but if he was, that's what it would look like.
Hey, beautiful people, we're over time. If you want to get in touch with us, tell us about your cats trapped inside digital pumpkins, or maybe you have a Soren of your own. How can they send us a note? Maybe a message. Communicate, if you will, Pedro.
Well, they can build their own version of Baradur and send us light signals with the gigantic eye that they put on top.
Beacons are lit. Gondor calls for ale.
Gondor calls for ale?
No.
And here I thought I was the drunk.
Pedro,
okay.
Pedro. See, the sad thing is I know for myself, I'm thinking about a comic when we say that. About being tan at the beach, but okay.
But yeah, no. The if you would like to get in touch with us, besides building your own replica of a fantasy tower with a mystical eye on top of it, the best way is to go to lowscapecast.com, hitting the contact button and filling out the form. Fill out your name, fill out your email, a subject. Make sure you pick LWDW as the show that you're sending your feedback to. Otherwise, it may be misinterpreted and considered hate mail.
That's true. So that's going to do it for this week. We'll be back after the fact. Oh,
so
keep an eye out, because I'm still like in a boxing match with Cloudflare right now, because we've implemented this new system which does effectively edge caches our entire site around the globe. And they don't have all the kinks hammered out just yet. So if it takes a minute for like feeds to update or something, when I say a minute, I mean like 12, 13 hours. I'm still hammering things out. But until next week, we will see you.
Awesome.
Let's roll some credits. Yeah. Hey, I got the thing set up.
Yay. Thank you for everyone who joined us in chat. I saw Mila Gamer Linux in there, Daisy, Artherin, Mir, Strider, Steve Husband, Linux Ganuru, and lots of people in there. All our wonderful patrons and supporters. Do, 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 do.
Okay,
Yay.
now that I have found the comic and shared it with Shotwell.
That's working out. Well, what do you mean I'm working? I have it pulled up right now for like a live stream.
Computer Kid, thank you for joining us. And Buckawful. Buckawful in there.
Spooky bad, beautiful people. We'll see you next
Sir
week.
Ballas.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Lucid Links. Bye-bye. We had such the chat was moving a lot, so I had to go back really far to get to everyone.
Here we go. This is our classic. Dude, fine. Let's go already.
No, I'm too pale.
Trust
Fine,
me, not
come on.
really.
Oh,
So you can barely tell.
the beacons are lit.
Right,
You'll get tanned in no time. Gondor calls for aid.
Hey, Lucid Links, thanks for joining us. You are awesome.
yeah, let's get this over.
I know Lucid Link's real name.
Do you want a cookie, you stalker, or what?
No.
Hashtag no doxing.
Right. Just like, I could dox somebody if I wanted to.
Oh, it was a dissimulated threat. See, I would have put Jill above that, but clearly I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's low-key threats, man.
No.
Let's see. I gotta bounce that back.
10:04. That was the best LTS for like
Jeez.
4 years.
That was a good one, yes.
It was the last Gnome 2 LTS. Then Unity came along.
Yes. Yes.
Things, the times were simpler. Things were more purple and poo.
Yes. It was brown, then it was brown and orange, then they dropped the brown, it was just orange, then it got the purple because they thought that just the orange was too much.
These are just like vague flashes while I'm typing in apt install xfce.
FX boy forever.
I mean, Strider mentioned 1004. Of course I was going to mention GNOME 2. That was the big standout feature.
Yes.
It was the last GNOME 2 LTS.
GNOME 2 did the business, man. I mean, it did what it needed to do, you know. I used it for probably the better part of a year because out of the box it was laid out logically because I need my application windows up top. Mm-hmm. And I just want to launch it down. Basically, it looks like CD. That's just how I roll. And I need my click buttons on the left side.
Correct, Strider.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That will break me, man. Muscle memory if I don't have that over there.
Actually, I tried to, like, completely force myself to relearn the left-handed window button positioning. And I could almost do it, except that I kept going for the left side to find the scroll bar if I needed to click to do something on it. It's like, oh, I can't move the scroll bars to the left side of the window.
Why would you ever need to make contact with a scroll bar? Scroll bar's on your gerbil.
Because I didn't have the clicky scroll wheel.
Do now.
I do now, so yeah, that doesn't bother me. But then again, I also have, which is part of the reason why, you know, memory leaks aside, I don't want to leave KDE, because currently I have it set up as I want it, and regardless of whatever application it may be, if I tell KWin to remember the window position, it does. And it forces the window to go into that position regardless of what the application says.
Aww.
It's great. I think Jill read something really naughty.
I don't know. I smashed that mute button. We'll let it go. This pie case was a really good deal, though. Surprisingly.
Just simple black plastics?
No, it's the, I didn't get it for the pie case. I already had a pie case. I had the official Raspberry Pi camera case.
Okay.
So, no, this thing comes with like some bare essentials that should be it shouldn't be included, but you get the idea. Mm-hmm. The big one, power button. So you get like the little
that's
USB.
got a nice click to it.
Yeah. On top of that, you get the little big USB adapter, which I have an entire video made of like, seriously, people, why has no one done an instructional guide of how to get Raspbian set up without a keyboard or a mouse with SSH access on Wi-Fi? How do you modify the image? I'm gonna show you how to do that.
All right.
Nice.
So you can just get the image on and like, boom, connect to the Wi-Fi. And it comes with a mini to maxi HDMI connector.
That's good.
That's good.
Ooh.
And it comes with another one of these useless little screwdrivers that you can throw away.
Yeah.
And we're not done yet. GPIO pins. So I can solder those on. I'm not, because I don't need them, but I'm soldered direct to the pads. No, and I'm not doing a commercial for these. But yeah, $10. And there's a case.
For all the things.
Yeah, exactly. That's... I already have a case. I was like, now I have a backup case. Just like for all the separate knickknacks. I was like, all right.
Yeah, Darkwing's Ubuntu is good too. Of course. I use Ubuntu Mate as my base, but I use different window managers on it. Right now I am.
You use Debian as your base.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If
well,
you want to go back, that far down.
Hey, come on, man.
Yes,
It's been a minute since I went like, well, actually.
No, it's true. It's true. And truth be told, most of my computers in here have Debian on them. So
This week?
Classic.
Yeah, the only reason I am on KDE Neon is, besides the whole KDE thing, obviously.
That's because you got frumpy at Solus and stomped off like you do.
Yeah, I made 3 suggestions, several of which, well, a couple of my suggestions were outright denied, as like, if that's so good, why isn't it included in the master?
Best $20 I ever spent, but continue.
And others, it was, yeah, they were just not addressed, and they were forever lingering. So it's like, okay, you don't want my input.
They got greedy.
And
they wanted $40 to close in the second round.
I honestly, well, I just got the Intensity Pro capture card because one of Nori's classmates dropped off her, used to be her dad's old work desktop, but he gave it to her. And then I give her one of my laptops because that was pretty old, and she's like, do you want it? So, all right, fine, I'll have a look, see if there's anything interesting. It's like, there's an Intensity Pro here. Do you want it back? I don't know what that is. I never used it. Okay, mine.
Nice. Oh, Real Computer Kid, thank you for the follow. And Mila Gamer Linux gave us 100 bits. Thank you.
Woo!
Yay! Woohoo!
And yeah, no, that was
That's
one of the
cool,
things.
Pedro.
It's like, can I have either DKMS or can you guys please include the Intensity Pro drivers? No. All right, peace. I'm out. It's a very nice distro.
I don't
But
understand an argument
I'm out.
against, like, how do you disable the ability to do DKMS?
That was one of Ike's big things, is remove as much automation as possible, and DKMS, if you set it up the way that it's usually set up in most distros, yeah, it is pretty intrusive. If you actually go and have a look at what everything that it does, it is pretty intrusive because it has to figure out when there's been a kernel update, when there's been a module update, when basically your system is not doing anything to see if the module is loaded. It's, yeah, DKMS is pretty intrusive, and the way he wanted to do it was to have everything individually in the repo, or to allow people to do it themselves. It's like, what if I don't want to worry about it? What if I just want to install a module and let it automatically recompile itself with every kernel update because DKMS? No. So yeah, that was like the proverbial straw that broke the
That's
camel's
what you
back.
get for using a
for me.
distribution that doesn't support DKMS, man. I mean,
So yeah, and then I would have gone to Fedora KDE because that's
I say
been my
this like I
go-to.
actually build my NVIDIA drivers like that, because I don't, but
I do use the DKMS module.
Step 2 after compiling a new kernel is like, all right, we're booting. Oh, right, control what let's like the stop. All right, let's build that again. Okay, now we're cooking with you with gas.
Yeah, Daisy
But, yeah,
Corel
it's,
Linux is still one of my favorites. I got a Corel Linux penguin right there. That's a little baby Corel Linux penguin.
If you hadn't pointed at it, I could not tell that there was a penguin there.
I know, I've got little tiny baby ones too. I've got a couple over there that are like, quarter-inch high. Yeah, Daisy, it had a great installer, and I actually used to have my students install Corel Linux so they could use Corel Draw. They had to learn how to install Linux to use Corel Draw.
Yeah, oh, look at Steve dropping the juicy bits.
I can't stand grapefruit. Steve husband,
Honestly,
you put that.
I much prefer lemon. Just give me a lemon, I'll eat the lemon.
Yeah.
That's fine. Grapefruit,
Yeah,
I can do
lemons. I
without.
don't have any lemons and limes. I like grapefruit. I can't stand. I never could. But he has one every morning. It's really good for you. And he has one every morning with his
garlic
oatmeal.
clove is also very good for you in the morning. You don't see a lot of people doing it. It's like, you want that stanky breath the rest of the day? That's how you get it.
Aw. I love pineapple, actually, Arthur. And me and Steve, since the pandemic, we've grown very fond of just buying a whole pineapple and cutting it up and eating it.
No doubt of that. It's just a block of sugar. It is.
Yes.
Also, Arthur, you can only ever get a person with durian once. That's it. At that point, you have a laugh, you help them try and get rid of the smell ASAP, and then, yeah.
Minutes.
Yeah, no, as far as I'm concerned, Fedora. That would have been my distro of choice.
Fedora?
But Jordan's already using Fedora.
What are you talking
so
about? Nah, man. I remember installing the Halloween edition.
Yeah, you can, Steve Husband. You can bang suggest. Sometimes people do.
You can.
Well, as you know.
Feel free
to be fair, it was the first distro I ever installed. It was Fedora Core 4, if I'm not mistaken. Because it had a recent enough kernel version where the Wi-Fi card on the laptop, the Acer that I had at the time, it actually worked. I could actually get Wi-Fi. 2005 or 2006.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Wasn't one of those. I always had the odd Broadcom drive, chipset that wouldn't work, even if there were drivers for it.
That was an Intel one, but we're talking like 2005.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi 2005 on Linux.
Yeah, I actually bought an external. This is before they had the USB ones with the little Wi-Fi antenna on it, but it was an external unit, kind of big, a big square. Was one of the earlier external Wi-Fi, and that would work on everything, even the old Linux kernel and my old Macs. So that's what I used to use on those old laptops that didn't support it. Or we'd wrap it with a Windows driver.
It's
and this wrapper. No.
Arthur and I still got to do some hammering on the Pi thing, so I will share my experiences with everyone.
Yeah, Daisy, Atheros chipset is awesome.
Yeah, the Atheros, it's the moment they started coming out with the teeny tiny USB adapters, it's like, oh, your Wi-Fi doesn't work here. There, it's working now.
Exactly.
I kind of avoided most of that problem by just not having a laptop.
I was in university. Laptop was nice, very nice to have, actually.
There were luxuries, but there was no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Mirror. That's
Wi-Fi at university.
Pre-B.
Mine was slightly worse. It was non-existent.
Yes. That one, you had to have a specific certificate to access like the internal stuff. If you wanted to access the intranet, you had to have a specific certificate installed. And they had, bless them, a tutorial to get it set up on Linux. But it was wrong.
You had to bring reading material.
Oh, boy.
You had your laptop, you had a small hard drive, you didn't have a place to plug it in, you had limited battery life, so if you were going to actively screw around like a normal person during lecture, you couldn't download video? Nuh-uh. You didn't have enough storage for that. You couldn't bring your DVDs in because you'd burn through your battery. You had to read a book. You get off my lawn.
And the sound of the DVD drive spinning up was a bit more telling than just the usual like laptop fan.
Dude, I didn't care for what I was paying. Especially when I was paying it out of my own pocket. I was like, say something to me.
Yeah, I paid through university for myself, and I have a master's degree that I have made zero use of, so... There's that.
Your master's degree didn't cost as much as a house.
No, it didn't. Because Portuguese public education was still reasonably cheap. Still paid, I think it was a total of 2,500 euros over the 5 years for the master's degree. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's like more,
that's nothing
less
compared to
than
U.S. education. I know.
Oh god. Oh lord, I remember.
Yeah, as it turns out, having these communist parties in power for a while is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Are you saying that for-profit educational systems can run amok? Nay.
Nah. That can't be true. Oh, wait a second.
Yeah. All right, beautiful people. Are you going to bake another chicken this evening?
I don't know. We're having leftovers. It's like that was a whole chicken, outside of the feet and the head and the nipples. I don't know where Arthur found the chicken nipples.
They're below the teeth.
Yeah. But yeah, no. As it turns out, a whole chicken for just 2 people, it lasts a bit.
I would wait.
Yes.
Did you guys have like a side item? Because unless we're just talking like, because if I look at a chicken, I think I could eat a chicken.
We're talking 2 full kilos of meat. Yeah, I could eat it, but I wouldn't be as slender as I am.
Are we talking like, do you think you could take it down if just left to your own devices, or if there was like a monetary reward at the end? Or somebody hit a hot pocket in the middle of it?
Were I alone,
Yeah.
if Nori was not here for any reason, and I would just have a whole chicken, I would probably put some show on Netflix, lean this chair all the way back, and go like this until it's over.
All right.
I've done that in the past. I'm not proud of it, but I have.
All right.
Yeah, the only thing I can eat a whole of is the Cornish game hen. That's about it. And even that, I can't get through the whole thing.
Yeah, no, those chicken nipples have been around on the internet for a while.
All right. Well, I'm going to go make a podcast show audio thing for the internets, everyone. I'm going to have a fun and exciting evening. Then I'm going to leave well enough alone, and tomorrow I get to lay down some VO trucks, and that's work stuff. But when I'm done with that, I got to ship that off. I'm going to be in here anyway, so I'm going to finish up that Sapphire Pro 40, and I'll get the webcam thing guide, at least the basic guide out, up for patrons no later than Wednesday, yes, Thursday, Friday afternoon. There we go. See, I've said it. I've spoke it into existence. There we go. There's a schedule. That's how you motivate yourself, kids.
He spake once.
I spake once. All right. Do you think you could eat a whole turkey?
Oh boy.
Turkey is a bit rougher.
And there's different sizes of turkeys.
Harder.
There's 40-pound ones.
Is usually a bit darker. That's harder to chew on. You just get tired.
I have a blender.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm asking a simple question.
Yeah, if you remove the effort from it, absolutely.
I do not own a Blendtec blender, not because they're $300. That didn't even bother me. It's just the fact that I knew I would never use it as a blender. I would be feeding it like broomstick handles the entire time. Exactly. It was like, hey, want to see something cool? Come on, let's go get the blender. Right. Yeah, that's how you know you get responsible in your old age. Like, no, this is not. All right, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow night, 7:30. We're gonna be back in. We're either gonna be we'll be doing Wolfenstein, or we'll be doing asymmetrical baby chasing.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.